getting ready to seize your first opportunity to come into the ring and start grandstanding and hot dogging, yeah!
I can't help it that I look good, smell good, woo, can dance all night long.
When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it.
Welcome to Malice Smack Talk, who should be one of the entrants of Money in the Bank this year, because I think we do a lot better than some of the names we're going to be talking about tonight. We've got the three people here. As always, you got me, myself, the host, Masonic Vader. With me always, Mindfreak.
I thought you were going to say my name for a second there. Like, you got your host, me, mine, the Masonic. You have a little identity crisis over there, bud?
Well, actually, let me retract my statement. Who's been here always for the last month and 2 weeks? Mike, how you doing, buddy?
That's funny.
You've officially been on cast more this month, or more this year, than Brock Lesnar has been on the last 2 years. Good job, buddy. Standing ovation.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. And, of course, we got the brains, the bearded master himself. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys all doing tonight?
Recovering from a crazy-ass nerd weekend. Between 6 a.m. and Endgame to Game of Thrones to God knows everything else, man. It's recovery time.
I know. It was an exciting weekend for entertainment, except for what we talk about on the show tonight.
yeah. Let's just say it's been a little lackluster this week, huh? Hey, first of all, thank you for joining us, guys. Feel free to, if you're not, if you can, get onto Twitch. We're live right now on the Twitch network, MALICE-Corp. You could join in on the live chat and take part in the topics we'll be talking about. If not, you could definitely listen to us or see us later on YouTube. Make sure you put your comments in there. Whatever you're listening or seeing us on, make sure you like us, subscribe to us, tweet us, retweet us, comment, tell all your friends about us. Let's get our names out there. We're building up every week, and it's great to see more people showing up to the cast. So thanks to MALICE-Corp, like I mentioned earlier. Don't forget tomorrow, or Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's their 100th show for the All Things Nerd podcast. I'm sure you'll probably see a couple of our faces on there, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be Endgame reviews. So if you don't want to listen to Endgame because you haven't seen it, don't go to it. But if you do, it's your time to start letting it all out, because trust me, I've been wanting to talk to someone for a while.
A while,
right.
3 days. Some of us watched it over almost a week ago.
Hey, first of all, it was Friday morning at 6 a.m. So technically, I think I'm about almost to the fourth day. All right, that's a lot of time, dude. So what we're going to be talking about tonight? We've got three big events that happened. Usually, we kind of talk about the past week as far as what happened on Raw, SmackDown. Well, okay, it was boring. So we're just going to we're going to cut all the fat and get right to the meaty stories of everything. We're going to be talking about the Money in the Bank. We have all the competitors, and then possibly who would you replace. We're going to be talking about injury report, and then finally we're going to be talking about a big return that we don't know where it's going yet. So why don't we start off with the sad news that happened on SmackDown last night with the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys comes down. Obviously, Jeff in a crutch. Now, I don't know the extent of what the injury is. Bearded Master, Brandon won. What is the extent of his injury, sir?
I don't know what the extent is. I know that when they came out, they showed a video. It's with his leg. Had to do with when Lars Sullivan came out and disrupted the match and basically slammed him into the ground. So I didn't really see the full extent of it, but it looks like it's something probably in his leg.
Yeah, I was almost thinking either leg or even possible like lower back. I mean, you can obviously tell Matt Hardy has a lower back issue and stuff, and he's been going.
No, we don't. What are we talking about?
Man, that guy runs around.
He had that replaced.
When they showed the highlight clip, for me, like with where he landed, it kind of looked like something like on his upper leg around his hip region, like it kind of just like tweaked it a little bit, maybe pulled him, like tore a muscle or did something bad. But he even said on SmackDown that it's going to be requires surgery. He's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, he said about 6 to 9 months. Now, of course, the way these guys rehab and how the WWE has done a great job turnaround as far as their medical. Sometimes you see those guys come back a hell of a lot faster. But yeah, trying to look it up really quick. It is a knee injury. The way I looked at it, being I don't know if you guys have had any major surgeries, but I've had a pretty significant one on one of my knees. The way he landed, if it is a knee injury, it could be a possibility of torn, probably torn because it's his left leg. The way he fell, probably a torn ACL or an MCL or something like that. If he's out 6 to 9 months, that's one of those major ones.
Yeah,
and it did look awkward. I thought it may have been more of the back until I just looked it up right now, because he did come down awkward too. It wasn't just flat. You know how they disperse their body weight and everything. He was twisted in midair, and he came down hard on that. So, but they 6 to 9 months he's going to be out. They had to unfortunately relinquish the belts. Man, isn't it crazy? I think this is kudos to WWE, because in the last 4 or 5 years, how many times have we seen people relinquish their belts for injuries and stuff? You know, you can talk about Daniel Bryan, you can talk about Finn Balor, Hardy in the mix. There's been so many guys in the last 5 to 6 years who've relinquished their belt, where if you go back 10 years, man, those guys would have went about 2 or 3 weeks with those injuries competing, or at least somehow being really involved before eventually they would have them lose the title or just roll with it for a while. I mean, oh, God, it's crazy. What do you guys think they're going to do with the SmackDown tournaments? You think they're going to be doing a tournament? They're going to what do you think? I
don't think he's really hurt. I think it's storyline, and it's storyline to get him off the air and for them to have to give up the belts. Reason being, I think we're going to get a tag team ladder match for the championships.
That would be nice. That would be very nice. Absolutely. But you really don't think it's an injury, though?
I don't think so. I don't think if it was a real injury, then they wouldn't have had Sullivan come out and basically get back in the ring with him if it was a true injury.
Very true. Very true.
Why injure something even further than there already is when you're and to be honest, Jeff Hardy is one of the most expensive talents they have on that roster. He's one of the he's last time I checked, actually I was looking at this a little while ago. Looks like he's $1 million a year contract. So he's up. There's about maybe 6 or 7 people above him on the male roster side. You don't risk further damaging or potentially career-ending an injury just to have the guy come out and like to mess with him. And he got in the match. He got in the ring again. A little bit, messed around a little bit, but then R-Truth came in. But still, you don't risk that, even if you've already announced that he's already injured.
Good point. Yeah, it just sucks though, because it was nice to see the Hardys get the belt, and I want to see them run. Because the downside to it, dude, it almost just seems like too that it was one of those things where they won the belt just so they could maybe just win the belt and get another notch in the belt, so they can kind of put themselves up in the upper echelon of tag teams. And then all of a sudden he's injured again. It's weird. It's like I hope it's not that. I really hope. I don't wish anybody having an injury, because injuries suck, but.
Now that Bearded One said that, it kind of makes sense, because so I rewatched it today, going over some of the key points, and one of the things too, if he was really injured and he was in the ring like that, he wouldn't have stayed in the ring. He would have gotten out there a lot quicker instead of slowly trying to get out and then hobbling around, look like he was going to attack them with the crutch kind of thing. So that makes more sense than having an actual injury, but we don't know also too.
Now he could have a mild injury that's possibly going to he needs to take some time off. I don't think it's as severe as they're saying it is, but I definitely think it's something to kind of. I think they were transitional champions. I don't think they saw them as champions for a long time. I think it was transitional to get Usos on the Raw, and so we can have a tag team event.
Yeah, not only that, no one's ever said that Jeff Hardy was a great actor, man. He was really struggling to get out of that ring, that was pretty damn obvious he was doing some horrible acting there. It was like the crutch was in his way or something. I don't know. He was just begging to get destroyed. To go on a quick side note really quick, I know you guys probably heard Dash and Dawson got offered a contract from WWE, since we're on tag teams really quick. reportedly about $500K, and they turned it down. So Bearded Master's favorite tag team. It doesn't sound like they're going to be with WWE too much longer, man. What's up with that?
It sounds like they're a bunch of idiots turning down $550,000 a year for 5 years. Last time I checked, you could sign me for half of that, and I'll come do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were offered the contracts. They said no, and now they're getting made fun of, shaving each other's back skits. Like, what in the world, dude?
I don't know who that was worse on. If that was worse on them or the Usos, because I don't know, man. The Usos they've had a great run where they've been badasses, and now they're kind of going comedic.
First of all, that wasn't even the worst part of that segment. So the worst part, I mean, that was definitely worse for the Revival because they're the ones that had to do it. Because when you look at the Usos, you can't get any worse than them coming out singing, rapping, and trying to pump up the crowd. You have the hottest tag team. You have the best tag team for the last 10 years in the world, and you're going to drop them down to that.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, that's not R-Truth. Or I'm sorry, that's not K-Quick and the Road Dogg.
Nope. Nope. And at that point, I was expecting to see a couple of the divas running around with bra and panties on doing a pillow fight match. You know, I mean, it was horrible, man. I'm glad you mentioned that because it also kind of it was very 90s comedic skittish. Like, oh my gosh, dude, seriously, you had to go that far back for that? I mean, yeah, great. They turned down your $500,000, but now you're going to do that to them? Good times.
Well, you know they turned down that they already had that planned out before the contract. So
yeah, if they turn it down, then we're going to do this. So moving on to so I agree with you though. The tag team. I hope they do a tag team Money in the Bank match because that would be awesome. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, hopefully it's not a serious injury. Get well soon because we would like to see you back in the ring. That would be awesome.
Yep, especially now that Matt's got kind of like a second lease on life, so to speak. The fact that he's looking like he's 10 years younger now. It'd be nice if Jeff can come out there and they can kind of have a nice little run of both of them being as healthy as possible.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Good words there, sir. Good words. Moving on. Next piece of news we had going on tonight. Money in the Bank. We had the players announced, both men and women. I thought what we could do is we can go through the list, kind of talk about them really quick, and then if you can take one or two names off of each ladder match and then replace them, who would you replace them with? Okay? So kind of mix it up a little bit. I would say let's start with the men first. Only because I think the women's might be a better one. I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, they're both going to probably be good. But the men's actually does have a pretty good lineup as it is, especially with the different personalities you got. So the 8 competitors are going to be Ricochet, Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Ali or Mustafa, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton. So there's your 8. That is a pretty solid ladder match. I have some reservations of at least one name on there, but looking at it, it's got a great mix of you've got strength, you got size, but it's not like
you got speed, you got high flyers.
Yeah, I mean the big guys aren't slow and sloppy. They could actually run pretty good with the little guys and stuff, and at the same time,
sorry to interrupt before we get really going into that. Just to read the comments. We had a great one right now from Mess 5150. If you don't know, that is our producer. Let's start with the podcast first. If you had to take 2 of you off the podcast, who would it be? Well, I can tell you right now who the people come to see. I mean,
I'm going to go out on the record and
it's the A-list superstar. A-list superstar, bro.
Of course, the A-list superstar.
I mean, they're not going to
beard.
I mean, the beard itself. I mean, they could probably kick all 3 of us off and just have the beard by itself.
They could.
You really could.
Absolutely.
What does he have underneath that beard? Oh yeah, another beard.
This is Malice Beard Smack Talk now, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Bearded Smack Talk.
No. Yeah, Bearded Smack Talk.
With your host, the Beard. Just sits there and does nothing.
And to answer his other question, what would be our tag team for three of us?
The bearded ones.
I would say Bearded Malice.
Bearded Malice. Boom.
Bearded Malice.
Bearded Malice.
I mean, it's better than Viking Raiders.
The bearded experience.
The bearded experience. Of course you'd go there.
Dude, you know what's funny though? I look at this really quick as we're getting into this. There's like three. We just named off like three people that have totally had their names changed. Like for example, it used to be Mustafa Ali. Now it's Ali. It used to be Andrade Cien Almas. Now it's just Andrade. And now we have the Viking. Well, are they still the Viking Raiders or what are they?
They are.
Right
They actually this time they actually had a vignette on the screen when they came out, and they had like lighting to go with them this time.
Peteopolis in the chat said the tag team name is the Bearded Viking House Party. I like it.
Beard so strong that it breaks razors when they try to shave it. I love it. Talking about Razor's Edge. Boom.
And welcome to the show, Pete. By the way, it's good to see you back.
Pete, you got to come on if you're going to sing. I think we need to bring Pete Opus on so we can sing Real American. I think he was talking about that on Twitter a little while ago, wanting to sing Real American.
Okay, I'm down with that too. Yeah, if we can get him on here, that's how we'll start it off. And we might even just end it on that too, to be honest with you. I think that's just a show right there in itself.
I think he actually wanted to go sing an entire wrestling album, the whole wrestling album from the 80s.
Oh, you know what's sad is I'm sure if I look in a box, I probably have that somewhere in a box. I remember owning that tape. Yeah. In fact, you know what's funny? Going on a side note, I was actually in a talent show, lip sync thing, and I actually did. Yeah, I did the Tutti Frutti, but I did Mean Gene Okerlund's one. It was awesome. Yeah.
I know it's off topic real quick, but since we're talking about it, ADD Wrestling Radio right here. I don't know about you guys, but I was a pretty big fan of the wrestling albums and had when it came to WWF, I had the WWF 1, 2, and 3. And then I had 4, which was fantastic because 4 was like the Attitude Era.
Oh, you talking about the soundtracks?
Yeah. WWF 4 was like the kickoff to the Attitude Era, and then they had the Attitude Era album, which was Aggression.
Yeah.
And that's the one with like actual like rock stars and rappers and everything were actually doing the songs. That album was the shit.
You know what, dude? You know what? I'm gonna go to my storage thing, and next week I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna have at least 2 or 3 of those in my hand. I still have those somewhere.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring. I won't be able to find the cassette tape because that's in the way back box, but I do have this EP stack that has them in there.
Nice. Standing ovation.
Yes, Pete, grab them cakes, man. JYD. Oh God, dude, that was awesome. Yes, sir. All right, so let's talk about this Money in the Bank match. Let's start with the men.
Right, Money in the Bank, which is one of the best events of the year.
Yes,
right?
Yes, hopefully so this year. So I just named them off. We have Ricochet, Braun, Drew, Baron, Ali, Finn, Andrade, and Randy. I think it's probably one of the most balanced Money in the Bank matches I've seen in a while. I mean, because the last couple of years they've had a couple big guys that did all right, but they didn't. I mean, like Braun is the exception to the rule in a sense, but they've had Kane and they've had other guys that have kind of weighed it one way. But this looks really balanced. I'm actually content with all the names on there, except I would change one on there.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the second or third year in a row that they've done 8 people?
No, they do 8 people every year.
Okay, I thought it was 6 for some reason.
Always 8.
Okay.
So hold on, before you say this is the most well balanced and talk about like the most diverse and like kind of hits all the metrics. Last year we had Braun Strowman, but we had Bobby, formerly known as Bobby Roode, Finn Balor, Owens, Kofi, Rusev, Samoa Joe, and The Miz.
The reason why that's
pretty well balanced.
Yeah, but if you look at it though, Lashley didn't do a lot of he didn't do a lot of stuff.
Lashley wasn't in there. Lashley wasn't in there.
Did you just say Bobby?
No, Rude. Bobby Roode.
Oh, Rude. Oh, my apologies.
Lashley fought Sami Zayn.
That's right. That was a very well balanced one, but for some reason it just didn't seem like everybody was involved with ladder stuff. Like I remember Braun Strowman did do a lot of stuff. I mean, he did a couple things, but it was mainly everyone else.
Do you not remember Kevin Owens falling off a 20-foot ladder onto the table?
I do remember that, but dude, I can tell you so many different times people have fallen off a ladder or have gone to.
Yeah, but not somebody like Kevin Owens. That's almost as big as Rikishi falling off Hell in a Cell in 2001.
Oh, okay, hold on a sec, dude. Kevin Owens has a gut, but he's not Rikishi level, dude.
I said almost.
Yeah,
almost.
Almost.
No, he's like a Finn Balor difference, dude. Rikishi was nearly 400 pounds, dude.
And KO's like 290 pounds. He's like almost.
All right, we'll go with Leo Rush. Go with a Leo Rush. There you go. How about Leo?
Leo Rush, who's that?
Soon to be unemployed, possibly.
There we go. Boom! That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Right on.
Unemployment line?
Hashtag unemployment line.
You're paying my paycheck now?
Hey, go to the soup kitchen. Damn. So I mean, but it's a really the reason why I like this lineup is because I really do think everybody on this lineup will get like actively involved. Somehow everyone on this lineup is going to go through a ladder. That's what I think. Something crazy is going to happen from each and every person.
Ricochet is going to do a press from the top ladder.
Ricochet's going to do like an 1800 off of the ladder.
or see like on like two opposite ends, him and Ali both doing it into like Braun Strowman or something.
I was about to say the same thing. Him and Ricochet are going to both do a like triple cannonball off of the top ladder.
Yeah, but before that, they're going to hop from 3 different ladders. So they're going to hop, skip, and do their thing, dude. That's what's going to happen, man. It's crazy the amount of talent just between them two, and then you add Finn and Andrade. Those guys could definitely throw their weight in there as far as athletic ability. And then you've got Randy, Braun, Drew McIntyre. I'm interested to see what Drew McIntyre does with that. I believe he did win the Money in the Bank. About 10 years ago. I don't know the exact, but I think he hasn't
won one at all.
No, I think Drew McIntyre did win a Money in the Bank. I believe I'm looking it up right now. Drew McIntyre, Money in the Bank. Let's see if okay. We'll go with that name too.
Nope, never won the Money in the Bank. He's the NXT champion, sure? Intercontinental champion, and 2-time tag team champion.
Mm-hmm.
I could have swore they
the only ones
there has never been a Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah,
okay.
you have Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, and Braun Strowman are the only winners.
I will list off the winners since day one, so 2010, so it's 9 years. We got the Miz and Kane because there was at this point they did double Money in the Banks.
Yeah.
Miz and Kane, Del Rio and Daniel Bryan, Cena and Ziggler, Randy and Sandow, Rollins, Sheamus, Ambrose, and now this is gonna be the last couple of years. Yeah. Baron, Braun, and to be determined.
All right. Yeah, I could have swore I heard that before, but I guess not. All right.
3 people in this match are all former Money in the Bank winners.
Yep.
So it's going to be a good match. Now, what name or who would you take off of this, and who would you replace him with if you would?
Baron Corbin.
Really? Why? Now, hold on. Is this because you don't like him, or is this because of talent, and you think someone more talented should be in there instead of him?
It's probably somebody more talented than him should be in there.
Okay.
Somebody like Aleister Black.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just throwing that out.
Wait.
Go ahead.
What roster is Baron Corbin on?
He's on Raw.
So who on Raw could take his place? Aleister Black is on SmackDown.
Yeah, well, originally he was supposed to be on Raw, but yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
He's
no.
on. So you got if you're taking Baron
yeah.
Corbin off, you got to substitute him with another Raw talent.
Somebody else from Raw.
Why you gotta throw the twist in like that? Dang it! All right, he's on.
He's got a
Just
point.
throw somebody random in.
He's
If
got
that's
a
the
point.
case,
He's got
I'll
a
bring
point.
the Rock back and put the Rock in there.
No,
I would put a current superstar in there. I had a name. I'm looking him up to make sure he's on the Raw list because I would like that name. It would be Luke Harper.
He's not on the roster right now.
No,
he's on SmackDown. He's on SmackDown, but he currently is like kind of like sitting at home.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's I got it.
So since you guys, I'll give you guys both a moment to think of somebody to replace him from the roster. I have two.
All right, go for it.
Corbin is unbelievable. Corbin is not one of them. I actually think Corbin makes a good fit. I think Corbin is a heel heat that should be in this kind of match. He's won it. He's been in it before. The first one that comes to mind, and you'll know exactly why as soon as I say his name, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Why is the IC champion inside a ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase? I get it, but you're only in it because that title should be defended rather than having him in that match. Replacement, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
There it is, yeah.
Now I have a second one.
Okay.
Because I don't feel he's earned his right to be in this match. Name, Ali. Replacement, Rusev.
I can see that.
But why don't you think Ali's earned it?
Because he's had 2 matches in the last 3 months.
Okay,
so basically Ali's in here as a consolation prize for, hey, we know what you were supposed to be doing a couple months back and you kind of got hurt and screwed. So we're going to throw you in this so we can try to keep your name in front of everybody and keep your talent in front of everybody. Yes, he's talented. He's going to have some big spots off that ladder, but I want to see somebody who deserves to be in a championship match. I don't see Ali as a champion. I see Rusev as a champion. Okay. And if I was going to take somebody off Raw, I don't have anybody off Raw because I'm okay with those. I don't really care for Braun being there because he's been there. He's won it. Yeah. It's played. He's the favorite. I don't think he's going to win it again. If I were to say I had to take Braun Strowman off or anyone, I don't, because the other 3, you can make the same argument against Ricochet of him not being there compared to Ali. I get it. Ricochet's done more over the last 3 months than anybody else in that category for the Money in the Bank men's briefcase. If I was to take Braun Strowman off, somebody that I feel deserves to have some kind of push or deserves to be in this match that can get his name back in there as an individual would be Cesaro.
He's on SmackDown, though.
No, he's on Raw. He's on Raw.
I thought he went back to SmackDown.
No, they split them, and he's on Raw, and Sheamus is on SmackDown.
Yeah, I've lost track of whoever is everybody. Yeah. No, actually, now here's the funny thing. I actually, for me, the name I would take off, I thought about Baron Corbin being replaced with Luke Harper. Obviously, can't use Luke Harper because he's on Raw. But then after listening to you slightly, okay, Braun was the number 2 guy. I see what you're saying with Baron Corbin being staying on there. He has been on it before. I personally don't like the push that they keep giving him because, to be perfectly frank, his in-ring skills, they're good, but they're predictable. Like he hasn't done.
They're horrible. They're horrendous.
They haven't, and I say good to a point where he's on TV, but it's not like what we were watching. No name just getting beaten the hell out of, right? I would take Braun off, and I would actually put EC3 in there. I think that's somebody who needs to get a push, and I think that would be a great spot showcase for him to showcase, because everyone who hasn't watched NXT and saw him go through it, or let alone TNA or anything else, doesn't know actually what he can accomplish in the ring, and we just haven't seen it yet. And I don't know what the hell WWE's waiting for, but that would be a great match to showcase his talent, is put him in the ladder match. He won't win, but man, people will be asking to see him a hell of a lot more.
That's the crazy thing is, though, if you were to insert EC3 and with the diehard wrestling fans knowing who and what he's done, he could easily be somebody who makes his debut in that match and wins it, and it would be credible.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
Because he would be the complete surprise sleeper You know he can, but they probably won't, and that's why he should. And I could totally get behind that.
Yeah, I would love to see EC3 in there just because.
Could you imagine his promos over the next year, regardless of him having the briefcase? Not only is the top 1%er, but he also has the briefcase. Like, it writes itself.
Yeah, it does.
Given that means it doesn't write itself because it's the WWE.
Yeah, exactly. I think they could have. This Money in the Bank is a great opportunity to not just push, for example, Randy Orton. I'm not saying Randy Orton shouldn't be in there. I think Randy Orton could be in every Money in the Bank. We've seen him in a lot of them, right?
One.
But I'm confusing with other just ladder matches, and my apologies. But I mean, you've seen him in matches similar to this, and he's done very well. However, though, I'm getting to Randy Orton's getting to me to a point where he's starting to approach Cena-esque, like the beginning of it, where you're just putting him on TV just because it's his name, but you're not seeing him all the time now. He's not showing up every night. They're not putting him in the main event. He's kind of like having feuds that are keeping the middle of the roster like relevant. You know, it's just.
Do you not realize who his last feud was?
Yeah,
I do realize who his last.
The biggest name on the roster.
But he's not. They're not doing anything with him though. That's the problem.
That's the thing about Randy Orton is he's not a stupid guy who you need to consistently be doing something with because his name writes itself. He has earned a spot to where he doesn't need to be on every show because every show doesn't need Randy Orton. But when he's there, he's always giving us high quality stuff unless it's with Jinder Mahal. But other than that, Randy is Randy, and you know what you're going to get out of him by having him in this match. Okay, so. Take away Braun, take away Corbin. Everyone, even Balor being this match. Balor's still somewhat new to the roster. He's only been on the roster for a couple years. This summer makes 3 years he's been on the main roster. I get that's not a lot of time, but when he's injured for a year of that, so basically he's been on the roster for 2 years. Before that, nobody really knows Balor before NXT. And Balor's got a great history there. But if you take everyone else, even McIntyre, who even though he's got a pass, Drew McIntyre that we see now is a different Drew McIntyre. Mm-hmm. Ricochet, Ali, Andrade. These are all 4 newer talents. So what do you do with these brand new talents? You put somebody who can put them over. Randy's in this match, not to win it, but to put over the younger talent. To take the bumps from Braun, Baron, and McIntyre and put the other 4 over.
So I'm going to agree with you there to a certain extent. 50-50. Yeah, I can see, taking the bumps, help put over the new talent. But, if all these rumors and stuff were true, but we never know with WWE because everything changes so much. But if these rumors are true and Vince wants Randy to have the belt when they go to Fox, this could be one of the prime positions to have Randy get inserted back into that title.
So
picture.
We'll get into that in a moment because I'm going to debunk that entire argument there. And when I tell you why, you'll understand why that's
okay. But you can understand where my point is.
I do, totally.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Okay, but now here's my thing. I really do think that Money in the Bank can really showcase talent, like newer talent. That's what it's been used almost for. Like you like regardless if you win or not.
Did you not hear everybody I just announced who won it?
Yeah.
Okay, but my point is there are other names other than Randy Orton. You even just said it yourself a minute ago. Randy Orton doesn't need to be doing this. He doesn't need to do that. He's earned this and that. He doesn't need to be in Money in the Bank.
No, he does need to be there to help the younger talent.
You tell me they can't find anybody else.
So you're saying that Finn Balor? So hold on. Okay, if you want to do that, let me go further. I will read off the entire SmackDown roster. You tell me on here who needs to replace Finn Balor because a title-carrying champion should not be in this match.
No, I agree.
Unless he loses his title that night. Okay?
Hold on. Who knows? He might be losing it beforehand.
So, Aiden English. Well, then why would you announce it beforehand?
I have no idea. I don't.
Okay. Aiden, hold on.
WWE is going on a tangent.
Aiden English. This is instead of Randy Orton, okay? Aiden English. Yes? No?
No.
Okay. Aleister Black, which I've already said where he should be. He should be taking the spot of Finn Balor. Same kind of, he's around the same kind of talent and ability. Andrade already in there. Apollo Crews.
No.
Too young.
No.
Big E, injured. Big Show, nowhere around. Bo Dallas.
No.
Okay, here's one that I could possibly see on here, and I will give you this one. Buddy Murphy. That's a good one. I can see Buddy Murphy being a younger talent to get his name on the main roster since he hasn't been on the main roster. So as far with your argument to get somebody on there, he would be a good fit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Chad Gable.
No.
Curtis Axel.
No.
Daniel Bryan's injured.
Yep.
Elias is in a big match. Epico Cologne. Harper, we just talked about. Jeff Hardy's injured. Jinder Mahal.
No.
Kevin Owens in a big match.
He's in a big match.
Killian Dane.
No.
Kofi Kingston. Kind of a big match.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, here's another opportunity, but then you go back what your argument was a year ago as far as having too much beef. Lars Sullivan.
I wouldn't want him in there anyways.
I wouldn't want him either because he's not a skill. He's a power that's just gonna come in and smash. He's Hulk. He's gonna Hulk smash, and that's all he's gonna be in there for. He's there to bend the ladder, not to climb it.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy.
Possibly.
He could now with his situation.
Okay, but hold on. So let's put Matt, but not Randy.
I'm telling you,
that defeats your argument there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna continue. R-Truth.
No.
Otis.
No.
Primo Cologne.
Keep moving.
Roman, big match. Rowan.
No. Possibly.
Okay. Rusev.
Well, we
already said where he should go.
That would be a good one.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Which Sheamus is again another Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Sheldon Benjamin.
He would be a better mix than Randy Orton.
For what? Benjamin's been on TV once in the last 8 months.
If you're talking about someone to take bumps and do something and lead something on at the same time,
he doesn't give credible validity to anybody in that match. Most people who are watching don't know Sheldon Benjamin.
All right, keep going.
Who he should be. Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't fit this match.
No.
Sin Cara, he's injured. Tucker.
Moving on.
Xavier Woods.
That would be the other pick I would put in there.
See, that would be interesting because you have him who's a veteran. The chance of him winning to end up going up against
Kofi
would be pretty big. Here's the thing. Here's what I would have wished really would have happened. I really wish that Big E hadn't got injured if he's really injured, because Big E in this match again, winning that briefcase sets up a completely different scenario, and he doesn't have to turn on Kofi. Kofi just has to watch his back for his best friend to cash in on him. That would have been interesting TV. Just saying.
That would have been.
And you could still get away with Xavier though too.
But the heel heat doesn't come off as much with Xavier.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to this real quick. So Aleister Black, and Buddy Murphy, essentially, are essentially the two names, the newer guys that can fit that role. Sound right?
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha, yeah.
Okay. So Balor should be replaced by one of those without a doubt. And I think it should be Black. If Ricochet's in this match, Black should be in this match, because the reason Ricochet is in here is exactly why Black should be in there, for the same reason. In fact, Ricochet, you would make an argument that Black should be in there more so than Ricochet, due to the fact that since they split, Ricochet's lost every match since.
No, he won. He just won a tag team match with Braun on Monday.
Okay, well, Braun,
but
yeah, and Ricochet.
Ricochet got the pin though.
I know, but that's because Braun already beat the shit out of him before
Yeah, and why do they have to put him in a tag team, by the way? Let Ricochet go on his own for a hot minute, man. Let him try to develop his his own place,
He will.
But all right, so you made your point. But still,
So kind of backpedaling too, what was the other point about the comment that I made and that you said you were going to change my mind with?
Hold on. Keep going. I'm responding back to a comment in the thread.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it's the answer right here. So welcome to the room. I don't know, ESAHC 56. He mentioned Bobby Lashley. Great. He would. Lashley is Lashley on SmackDown or Raw? He's on Raw.
He's on Raw.
Right. So as far as the SmackDown talent, he wouldn't be able to replace any of them. But even if he were to replace someone on Raw, he gives another one of those older names who isn't. I guess he could help put over the younger talent. But I think by putting over talent, Randy Orton does it at a much higher level than Bobby Lashley does.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley would be the equivalent of Drew McIntyre as far as he could be in the match because, in fact, both of them have similar paths as far as careers where they were together at the same time. They both left for about the same amount of time, and they both came back about the same time with whole different. Well, okay, at least Drew did. Bobby Lashley still needs someone else to talk to him, but yeah, he would be a good balance for.
You know who could swap that out instead of Bobby Lashley and fill that spot and be that quicker talent?
Who do you
Leo
think?
Rush.
But Leo Rush, I think, is filling out or possibly filling out some unemployment papers soon. I don't know.
Oh, well, that works. Okay, so what you're saying about Matt Hardy, I don't think Randy is going to be the champion come SmackDown Live on the Fox due to the fact that it looks like as of today, Brock Lesnar may never be fighting a UFC match again or MMA match. Basically retired, and Dana White has come out and said he's retired.
I saw that. They were saying he's no longer going back to UFC.
That means he's going to be open for a contract with Vince for $5 or $13 million or whatever it is, $8 million. I believe his contract's $8.5 million a year. At that point, sign the contract, go to Fox. Why? And I was talking, had this discussion already. Brock Lesnar, you want to bring attendance to SmackDown. You want to bring visible eyes and bring the crowd over. You have Brock Lesnar win that championship, that title, first night of SmackDown on Fox.
That's interesting. Now to go on that really quick, since we're kind of going on it, I also saw the same article where, if I'm not mistaken, he's talking about maybe one more year in the WWE, and he wants to be out after that. That's what I think I remember reading, which I think 1 year is too long. I think 1 week would be good enough.
Well, hold on. 1 year is 1 week's worth of fighting.
That's true. Good point. Yeah. That is 7 matches. Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
So
now that you say that,
because most people have 2 days off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can't work them 7 days straight to get overtime. So what you're saying is we've only got 5 more days of Brock Lesnar.
And to get this even closer, his matches are about 5 minutes, so we have about 30 minutes of fighting left of Brock Lesnar.
Dude, we got all the commercial time that Hulu cuts out. Yes. Yeah.
We have more Paul Heyman time than we do Brock Lesnar time.
I wish and honestly, I'm okay with that. I like Paul Heyman on the mic.
I wish Paul Heyman would find somebody else to start freaking in an advocate for, because I find his stuff still entertaining. He's still right on the point. I like it.
That's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that wrong again. So we're not going to talk about who's winning and everything, because that's what we're going to talk about the pre-show.
Let's
switch to the female side. Females got announced finally last night as well with the Final Four from SmackDown. So here's the lineup. You've got Natalya, Dana, Naomi, Alexa, Bayley, Mandy, Ember, and Carmella.
So I'm not going to say mine first, but I'm going to have, when it's my turn, I'm going to have you guys guess which two I'm taking off that list.
I already know one.
So I'm going to let you guys, Masonic Vader.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us your picks first.
Okay, well, Yeah, all right. Well, being that I don't know if I've got the right Raw.
I will correct you. I will correct.
Thank you. I would take Dana out.
Okay.
And the reason why I would take Dana out, it's not that I have nothing against her, but like we were talking about in the pre-show, I think it's better for Dana to be winning individual matches and building herself up that way than throwing her in a ladder match, which I don't even think, or a Money in the Bank match, which I don't even think she's been in, let alone a ladder match. And, she's going to have to, she's one of the, out of this whole list, she's one of the veterans, unfortunately, and she's going to have to be that bump. I don't see her having that quality of talent yet. She needs to have those single match wins and build up that way. Maybe next year would have been good. I would replace her with Ruby Riott.
Okay.
I think that, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So that would be a good one there. And then the other one is I would take out Carmella.
Why would you take out your favorite female wrestler?
Yeah, she is not my favorite.
I mean, you do own a Carmella shirt, just saying.
I do.
So who would you replace Carmella with?
Zelina. There's no dead air here. Why are you walking away, sir?
Because that was the most idiotic comment I've ever heard you make.
Okay, so let's go with some smarter people here now.
Well, first of all, say smart, right, dude? Smart, really, dude?
That's what we know it's not going to be one.
You forget half of my face isn't working, so more words aren't coming out correctly.
It wasn't helping you when it was, so still, go for it.
Yeah, at least I can make better picks than you.
Yeah. Well, let's hear yours.
Let's hear mine.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I know. I think I kind of threw my headsets down. I might have had a little bit of a fit. You said Zelina Vega instead of Carmella, correct?
Yes, he did.
Okay, got it. Mindfreak.
Me and you are going to be in agreement on one of them. I'm pretty sure. Natalya. She just doesn't need to be in this match.
Who?
Natalya.
Okay.
And I would switch her for somebody. I'm probably going to say the same thing, either Sarah Logan or Ruby Riott.
Okay. Just the one?
And then on the other side, I'd switch out, same kind of idea, I'd switch out Carmella, but not for who he picked, because that was just an idiotic pick.
Well, unfortunately, wait, stop for a second, because I didn't even get to say anything anyways. The reason why I picked her is because when you look at everybody else, the only other viable people right now are currently in tag team stuff, trying to push their names that way. So how am I gonna pick, like,
you mentioned a name in a pre-show, and I'm surprised you mentioned it now, Liv Morgan.
I wouldn't put Liv Morgan in there. Liv Morgan, I don't think is ready for anything of this stuff, dude. She has not shown me one single match where she's been killing it, dude.
She might be ready for some stuff.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely not going to be in the ring, especially when you put a freaking Money in the Bank match in front of her.
Yeah.
All right. So you said you're taking out. So Vader, you say taking out Carmella
and Dana Brooke.
And Mindfreak, you said you're taking out Natalya and Carmella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I taught you well, my young Padawan. For you know me too well, as Natalya has no reason to be anywhere near this match. You talk about Randy not being in the match. Natalya shouldn't even be in the damn arena. Okay, first of all, my replacement for her. And here's the thing: I was debating on this one, and I was actually on the verge of saying Ruby Riott also, Vader. So I was on the same path with you on that one. However, going back to our prior statements, as far as this being an opportunity to make somebody. And I felt somebody who might be crazy enough to make something crazy happen. Who wants to play with Nikki? Let's play with Nikki.
Okay.
Nikki Cross to replace Natalya. Same kind of style, or not style, like size as far as performer goes, because you don't want to have all these high flyers in the match. I think you get not necessarily high flying, but you get a little bit more lighter mobility with like Alexa, Amber, Bailey. Naomi's one that is the most athletic female that can do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So as far as like that same kind of role, I think Nikki's there, but I think we see some crazy spots in a ladder match from Nikki Cross. Now, my other side, Naomi, Bailey, Mandy Rose. Of course, I'm always going to agree with Mandy Rose being in the match.
Of course. No question.
I'm kind of a little bit. Here's the thing. I'm going to say it now. I have a feeling that Mandy is going to be one of the final two, possibly final three, or final three, possibly final two. And I think she might end up losing it because of Sonya. I'm just going to throw that there now. Just foreshadowing.
Well,
Either way, Ember Moon. I can make some strong arguments for her not to be there, but I can make some good ones for her to be there. So I can understand that. It's Ember Moon. May not be the biggest fan of her style, but I will say she has earned her way since she's been on the main roster. Carmella doesn't need to be there. I mean, she really doesn't. She's won it already twice, which she needed help to win it. She just doesn't. She's out of the entire list. She's, to be honest, I think Dana Brooke might actually have a little more talent than Carmella. My replacement for Carmella, and this has to go with being that experience. One, experience, as far as being a veteran, but two, because I really want her to have the opportunity to win that title. She deserves to win a title one more time, and that's Mickie James.
I can see that.
I forgot she was on SmackDown.
Well, you know, why do you say that? Because I'm sitting there and like in the pre-show, I'm going through the rosters and kind of looking at things. And you mentioned Nikki Cross. Now, I agree. Nikki Cross would actually be a good fit for that. The funny thing is, if you go to WWE's website, she is not on any single show. She's just a current superstar. She's not on the Raw. She's not on SmackDown. She's not even on NXT's roster. She's just a superstar. So we don't even know where Nikki Cross is right now.
And part of the rumor, I think that might be, and this is, again, rumors I've heard with it, because of what they're trying to set up with Bray, they may try to put her with Bray somehow. I don't know how, maybe, but that's just what I've heard.
So Pete in the chat is asking if Sasha Banks should be in there.
No.
Well,
Bearded one.
And I'm going to answer this just because, and Pete knows my thoughts on this. I know he knows because he does talk to me a lot and he does listen to my other show. I am not a Sasha Banks fan, and whatever she's doing right now, if the legitimacy there for her to be at home crying about the loss and her losses and the titles and her direction and how she's just butthurt and pissed off about it all, then no, she definitely does not deserve to be in the arena whatsoever, not just the match. So let her sit at home, let her finish out her contract, the contract they're going to tack on that time for because she's not wrestling, basically locking her in a WWE black hole. However, if all that is incorrect and that's really not what's going on, and that's just rumor mill and storyline and whatever's happening, then yes, if she's on the roster, then I would absolutely put her in this match, and I would put her in instead of Natalya. And you know what? I would put her in instead of Dana Brooke, and still take Natalya out and put Nikki Cross in, or Nikki Cross.
Mickie James, Nikki Cross. Just put them both in there.
Hey, Nikki, you're so fun. You're gonna be in this match.
What are your feelings on the women's side?
As far as what's going on right now?
Yeah, like looking at who we have on there right now, if nothing changes, that's the lineup. No one gets injured. Which one do you think is going to be better? You think it's going to be the men's or the ladies? Just kind of like men?
100%.
You don't think the women are going to be able to pull it off this year?
No, because you have Naomi, you have Bailey, Ember, and then you have middle of Alexa and Mandy, and then you have Dana Brooke at the bottom of the list, who's not going to be entertaining at all. Natalya, who needs to retire, and Carmella, who just can't wrestle. Whereas when you look at the men, you have Ricochet and Ali, and you got Ricochet and Ali who will be doing things off the top. You have Balor and Andrade who are going to be doing things all over the place. You have McIntyre and Braun who are just going to be powerhousing through stuff. And you have Corbin and Randy who are the psychologists. That is a well-rounded matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping the ladies can pull something off, because that's the one thing I've liked about since they've started doing the women's Money in the Bank, is that it's actually been an awesome match. Every year it's gotten better and better.
Really? Well,
yeah.
When it starts off the way it started off, it can only get better. I mean, I know how much you are a fan of No Chin.
Oh, that's horrible, sir. That's horrible. You had to bring him back in, huh? We could have went the entire night. You had to bring No Chin in, huh?
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, Carmella in itself kind of brings him in.
Oh, God, man.
Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Let's just totally digress from everything. We got one more topic to talk about tonight. Recently, WWE has actually done one of the best send-offs I've ever seen to an individual wrestler ever. I mean, like, I think it was everything they were trying to do to keep the wrestler, to be honest with you. But as of, I think, midnight last night, Dean Ambrose's contract expired, and with the WWE, so he's now a free agent. Then comes this cool ass video that showed up out of nowhere, huh?
5 minutes later.
Woo, yeah, like literally.
Contract expires 5 minutes later.
And his entire Twitter page is just gone, redone.
So Dean Ambrose is no longer in WWE for the time being, or maybe he is. All of a sudden, this guy shows up out of nowhere, returning Jon Moxley. And that was a sick video, by the way. That was a
lot of production into that video without having a job.
Yeah,
that's a high quality production piece, if you ask me.
That was high quality H2O right there, man.
Whoa! Now you're getting movies mixed up.
Yeah, bro.
Now you're mixing Waterboy with Varsity Blues. Come on, Mox, throw the ball, Mox.
Oh my God! But that was a cool ass video. I really liked it. Now, dude, wouldn't that be sick if next week he just flipped and all of a sudden he's on WWE with that attitude?
He's not.
Huh?
He's not.
You say he's not going to be in WWE, or he is?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Here's my thought. I think we're going to see vignettes and videos for the next couple months. I think we're going to see teases for AEW. I think we're going to see teases for Fight of the Fallen. I think we're going to see teases for Daytona or Fyter Fest. We're going to see a lot of teases of where he might end up. And I think we see him come at the end of the summer at SummerSlam. I don't think he's gone. That's a very WWE-looking production piece. There's a lot of money that went into that. There's a lot of different connotations and interpretations of this piece that came out last night. One of them, jail cell, and you can compare that to being the jail cell, much like nicely said. Would you say it was very elite production? Well, considering I love the Elite, I watch the Elite. That is much higher quality than the Elite production pieces they put out. and I will compare this in a moment, because the Elite did put, or a member of the Elite did put out a pretty amazing production piece promo this weekend also. And I will compare the two. So interpretation, jail cell, breaking loose. Some people could say that's him breaking free of the WWE, be breaking free of the Dean Ambrose character, could be breaking loose of the Shield. Depends on which direction you think he's going. If you think he's going to AEW or Impact or Ring of Honor or any other of the multi-billion wrestling organizations, it could be simply breaking away from the WWE. Me personally, I don't think he's leaving WWE. I think he's still employed by the WWE, and that's why they're doing everything. This is the last time the Shield's together. Well, why? Well, because Jon Moxley isn't a member of the Shield. So you can't have the Shield if we don't have Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose is a member of the Shield, not Jon Moxley. So to me, breaking free of the shackles that have held him to what he's been since he's been on the main roster, and that's the Shield. Also, he breaks through. What else happens in that video? Gets chased by a rather large dog, a big dog, so to speak. Who's the big dog? Roman is. Gotcha. breaking free of the Shield name, running from the big dog. I don't know. Kind of say it however you want to say it. I think there's a couple different things. They did have, I don't know if you noticed, but I went back a couple times to look at it. At the end of it, as he's walking by the gym, there's dice on the wall. A 2 and a 5. What happens on May 25th? AEW Double or Nothing. What's their logo on that card poster? Dice. So I think there's a lot of stuff going on in these production pieces that are going to get people thinking. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised at how much. I think the last time was like 1.5 million views on that video already. Like if he is a free agent, whether he's not or is, the storyline of him being a free agent right now, he is the hottest free agent out there. He's getting more traction, momentum, and following in the last 24 hours than Kenny Omega had for the entire month between Ring of Honor or New Japan and AEW. Look at the biggest free agents of the last 4 years, and I don't think anyone, with the exception of AJ Styles, and even AJ Styles didn't really have this much traction before he jumped over to WWE. So it's interesting, it's crazy, and it's very intriguing as to where he's going to go and where the hints are pointing. It's definitely going to be left to interpretation until people can start talking, and it's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I see where you're going from on both sides. You definitely lay out a path of saying he can go either way and whatever they're going to do. The things that kind of threw me off about it is that if it is WWE, then it is. I think it's one of their things where they're trying to show that they're trying to go back to the. I don't want to say the attitude era, but I think they're starting to lift those restraints off. We talked about this about 6 or 7 months ago about WWE trying to go a little bit more. I don't want to say R-rated, but man, they're getting up there when we were talking about like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles feud and whatnot. And the reason why I mentioned that is because the one thing I did notice in there about it was the fact you had the blood dripping, the barbed wire, all that stuff. These are all things that WWE kind of shies away from when they're doing their vignettes right now. I mean, we're watching these vignettes for Bray Wyatt, and it's a puppet and a damn puppet. And then you see the vignettes for Lars Sullivan or all the NXT guys that came up, and they were all just clean personalities or whatever it was. There was no hardcore to him. Even Lars Sullivan was just grabbing a damn chain pretty much. So to me, it looks like it is his, he took his money and spent it wisely. And if it is AEW holding off to not have him sign until the actual day of the show and blow it up, hey man, they did it. They're doing it the right way. They're doing it right. But the only thing that throws me off with that is I do remember them saying this about 2 weeks ago, that they're not trying to get a bunch of ex-WWE washouts or ex-WWE wrestlers. They want to try to make this as
coming from the organization that is being ran by a WWE superstar. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, the biggest name on that roster is a WWE reject as far as Kenny Omega. Oh, and you have one of the biggest names in loyalty to the WWE in Chris Jericho. Okay. Got it. Yeah, and one of the main event is Hangman Page versus Pac, who last time I checked is a WWE reject. Got it.
Yeah. Got it. That's what they said. I'm just saying that's what they said. So Mindfreak, do you have any comments on this?
The video was amazing. I'm excited to see where it goes.
It was amazing.
Like you said,
he just got done watching the video right now.
No, I
thought he was doing over there looking in the corner.
Watching it again? No, it's testing something. No, but like it's absolutely as you said. It's open interpretation, and some of the stuff that you were mentioning, like I didn't even think of until you said it. Like the whole thing with like the dog chasing them and stuff like that. Like it.
I finally did it. It took me a year and 1 episode. Because I don't know if you know this, boys, but today marks the 1-year anniversary from our 2nd episode. So 1 year and 1 episode later, I finally blew his mind. Just saying.
I think there was
standing ovation. I think
there was enough gas built up in there that finally just happened, But yeah, and Pete actually puts a good comment out there. What if this was Fox producing it and getting them ready for when SmackDown hits Fox? That would be hella of amazing.
Do you know how awesome the vignettes for that for a 6-month period of time would be?
Absolutely.
Like, that would be amazing. Like if you're literally getting 1 million plus watching these vignettes say they do one a month. That's 1 million views a month trying to figure out where this guy's going. And the very last one comes out like an hour before SmackDown premieres. And it shows Jon Moxley showing up to the SmackDown arena.
How about
talking about getting viewership? You tag that up with Moxley doing this 6-month vignette promo to get him to the viewership to SmackDown, and then you start SmackDown the very first episode with Brock Lesnar win the championship. That'll be the highest rated SmackDown in decades.
I agree. I mean, the first one's actually be the highest one they've had. I think when they do eventually switch to Fox, there's going to be a lot of at that point, there's going to be a lot of buildup for it, and that would be incredible if they're able to pull that off. What would be more incredible if they don't screw it up with Renee?
I mean, whatever Disney can do to get that to work right. I mean, hot damn.
Yeah, apparently they figured out how to make money over the last weekend. $1.2 billion.
I mean, they had to do something with Robert Downey Jr. making $100 million on it.
Really? And then,
right.
what, Chris and Scarlett made 25, I think it was, a piece or something. I don't know. Damn.
So, I mean, to go back onto like the vignettes and promos and why I don't think it was an elite promotion promo. There was a promo put out this weekend. If you haven't seen it yet, we talked about it last week with Goldust cutting the Goldust name and becoming Dustin Rhodes and dropping the natural and going to fight his brother, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, at Double or Nothing. Well, Cody Rhodes cut a promo of all promos this weekend. Amazing promo. Where
I did see that, by the way.
Where Jon Moxley had the vision or the cinematography of a promo, Cody had the audio, the delivery, the actual like the promo of all promos to go with that. He's not fighting his brother. He's fighting an entire era. He's fighting this match to put the Attitude Era to waste, to put it in the past, to move on, to let it go, to prove that it's not as big as it was. I mean, with the exception of one comment he made, I agree with everything he had to say. And I love the Attitude Era. The AE was what I grew up in. His comments against Triple H, using the pissant term altogether. His whole was the Rock. What Dwayne said any different than what Punk said? That pissed me off because it was a lot different actually. Punk's a little crybaby, and the Rock was delivering lines, and the Rock was making magic happen, and Punk was crying. But other than that, everything that Cody said in that 3-minute promo was absolutely amazing. And if you're not an AEW fan, if you're not a Cody Rhodes fan, if you're not interested in what's going on outside the WWE, that promo alone. No, if you're a WWE guy and you watched the Hall of Fame and heard Hunter's speech, and then you hear this, if I wasn't if I was only a WWE guy, that speech would get me enough to where I'm tuning in to watch what's happening over at AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an awesome. It was 3.5, 4 minutes. Cody
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, dark room. To me, it didn't even seem like a promo. That's how good it was. It was just him just speaking. And I mean, even the way it ended, it just seemed like it ended abruptly. Like there was probably more to that conversation, but they just cut it off right there.
Fade to black.
Yeah, man. It was. And going to that, for people who are fans of WWE, you might not like you might not like it, depending on how hardcore you are about it. Because as people know, the AE era, the Attitude Era, is is a majority of the WWE's fan base at this point, dude. This is, I mean,
when it comes down to AE, that is like the golden era. Like I know there's the actual golden era of wrestling, and only fitting you wearing the pissant shirt right now. But the golden era, like the AE, was like it's that era that is held above all. Doesn't matter what you did.
The Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars saved wrestling because it got to a point where, like, you know, during this time I was at college, we weren't watching it. I even remember that there was probably like a 2 or 3 year gap where I just totally not watched wrestling. But that's what I'm saying, it saved wrestling. That's all it did. It brought a lot of people back to
it saved wrestling and ushered it into what we have now. I mean,
and it was not WWE by itself. ECW had a part in it. WCW had a part in it. It's just where everyone let the reins go, and it was almost like free will, dude. And it's what saved wrestling and made it mainstream yet again.
I mean, and to be honest, we don't have the women's revolution if it isn't for the AE.
Yep,
absolutely.
Because you don't have the bra and panties matches, you don't have the bikini matches, you don't have the mud matches, you don't have all the BS women promos that are going to degrade the women's division. Not said it wasn't entertaining back then, because it was, and when you're a teenager, damn right it is. But we also got to see the first revolution happen. Revolutions don't just happen in one phase. The first revolution was Lita, was Molly Holly, was Jacqueline, was Trish Stratus. That was the first revolution. Ivory was a wrestler. She did get some other, knocks against her, but then when she joined RTC and became all about the wrestling, we got to see more of a wrestler from Ivory. Now you had all the others overshadowing her and whatnot. We had China during the AE, who I don't care who you are, Victoria. But we don't have all the other stuff there. If we don't have all the other stuff, then we don't realize what we have today, and we may never have gotten what we have today because they would never have seen they needed to make a change, and they needed to go after more stuff. Yes, they changed the women's championship to the Divas championship, and they started bringing in other people. But that Divas championship and that Divas division is what gave us the revolution. That gave us AJ Lee. That gave us, as much as you don't like them, or not just you guys, I'm saying in general, it did give us the Bellas. And the Bellas, people hated the Bellas forever, but over the time, by the time Nikki retires, she's become a actually solid and damn good wrestler from where she was 10 years ago. Yeah. We got Natalya. We got Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix was a Divas champion. We got Michelle McCool. We got Layla. We got these talent who were that crossover from the Attitude Era to the Divas division, and with the Divas division ended with the revolution of the talent we got. We don't get that talent if it wasn't for what was going on after the Attitude Era. We don't get what happens after the Attitude Era without the Attitude Era happening.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, it saved wrestling, and it actually moved it in the direction that it needed to go. WWE found the light. They were able to take a WCW and move.
I'm about to make that comment. The light, or the night is always darkest before light. I had to, man. We're on a nerd channel. I had to do it.
We are nerds, man. We are so much nerds. But yeah, and I guess we're going back to what it is, Jon Moxley, man. I think, and everything that's going to come from it. Well, this has been a great night, man. We actually had a good conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know Pete was definitely throwing in some comments. Thank you so much.
You got a question. Hold on.
Oh, what?
Big nerd question. What are you watching live in 3 weeks? Son of a gun. He went there.
My God, he did.
I'm going to go with this. And Mest, I hope you listen, because I hope you jump in on this one. What are you watching live in 3 weeks? Money in the Bank or Final Episode of Game of Thrones? And I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as I realized what was that they were on the same day, I looked the other day, a couple days ago, and I realized the same day, and I thought, damn, that sucks. Well, luckily for the three of us, we are all on our Game of Thrones cast that night.
Which is
West Coast. So, I will be watching Money in the Bank later in the evening or nighttime. I am off the day after, so I will watch it through the night. I will be watching Game of Thrones live so that we can do our reaction show. And the fact that we get Money in the Bank and there's a lot that happens afterwards, we get Game of Thrones, and it's all over.
Well,
so
can't you pull it off though? Doesn't Game of Thrones start at 8 o'clock and Money in the Bank will get over around 7:30?
No, Money in the Bank starts at 4 o'clock and will end around 9.
No, it's not a 5-hour show.
No, it's a 1-hour pre-show, 4-hour event.
Nah, it's going to be done by 7:30.
No,
8 o'clock.
Hold on. No. The main card starts at 5 p.m.
The pre-show starts at 4.
No. The main card starts at 4.
No, 8 o'clock Eastern time.
You know what? We got 3 weeks to debate that. How about that? But we'll figure.
There's no need to debate it. You're wrong.
This is a one-time event, so of course you're going to do Game of Thrones live.
That's our producer, by the way. If everyone wants to see him, hi, how you doing?
And Money in the Bank happens every year. I know it's a different match each time, but this is a one-time event. The ending of Game of Thrones.
If you are a wrestling fan, you're not hearing our producer right now. We are going to totally watch Money in the Bank.
Oh no, they're hearing me.
No,
I turned myself on.
No, we're not. We'll be watching it late.
that is our famous producer in the background there. So
I'm gonna show you my day right now. I'm gonna be at work at 11 o'clock that morning.
Oh.
I am going to be doing a pre-show cast with another wrestling show. Before the
good show, by the way. Good show.
What's
good
that?
show. Good show.
Oh, well, no, I'm not talking about just my show. I'm talking about with another show that we have a challenge. So I'm going on to another show. So you know, and we're all about expanding the universe. We always do that. We always shout at other people online and stuff. Talkamania. So I don't know, boot to the face. We have a running competition with a couple other podcasts, which maybe we probably should get one going with us. But we have a rematch. This is going to be our third matchup against Talkamania podcast. So we will be jumping on their show, pre-show they do, before Money in the Bank to give our predictions to go against theirs. Then I will work, and I will get off at 4 o'clock, rush home, watch it. I will have Money in the Bank playing the entire time I'm on my way home. Get home, finish that, watch Game of Thrones, and be ready to go for the finale and our finale cast. I don't know how I'm going to get through it all, but I will be amped, ready to go.
Man, just pretend there was a production meeting beforehand. You're fine. I know those retail hours, baby.
I'm going out and saying this right now. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I'm going out and saying doesn't matter. I'm stopping Money in the Bank like 30 minutes early to make sure I have enough time to watch Game of Thrones for the cast. Just saying.
Underachievers, that's what you guys are. Hey, Mindfreak, where can these fine fans of ours follow you, sir?
Right over my shoulder on Twitter at MindFreakMLG, talking nerd, wrestling, pretty much everything on there. You guys can actually find me a lot more right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/BTBMindFreak. Ordered a bunch of new parts. Got my other working on building a streaming PC, so everything's going to be running nice and smoothly here soon.
Nice. Bearded Master, where can we follow you, sir?
You can also follow him at coachesshadow.com.
Wow.
You can find me both Instagram and Twitter at @beardedmaster.
There you go. Simple as that. You can follow me, Masonic Vader, and Masonic Vader 71 on the PlayStation Network, Masonic Vader on Twitter. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Malice Hive and Corp for letting us cast in our show. We appreciate you guys hanging out a little bit longer tonight. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. And, of course, how we always like to finish the show, we go off with that 1, 2, 3. Yeah, rock on, guys. Take care.
The pedigree, that's got to be over.